glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo992 and today we are back for another brand new video. I know he's all wanted this to be out as soon as possible. I know he's wanted me to talk about it on Sunday. I know he's definitely wanted to do it on Monday. Apologies for not uploading. I wanted to take a couple of days to let everyone calm down after the disastrous 2-week period under the Murty Mania regime. But we're here, we need to talk about it. I know there's all that thing, oh, didn't he put negativity out there when we're coming up against the semi-final? Sometimes the videos write themselves, and they need to be asked. So what I did is I fired up a poll, as I usually do, up on Twitter. It's really took off, there's a lot of comments here, so I'm going to keep my side of things short and read out a bunch of everyone else's tweets to give them the voice and get them out there on the old interweb. So really quickly, my thoughts, do I want Murty in charge next season? I've kind of stood by this. And even though when we were winning, I always said he's tactically naive, he's starting to annoy me with his substitutions, all that malarkey. I've always said it relies on the cup. I think if he wins the cup, I think he'd be given another year to prove himself. If he doesn't win the cup, he won't. But if you're asking me like I'm asking you, and hopefully you're finding your opinions down below, smashing likes when you're there as well. Thank you. I don't think I want him here next season. And I really love the guy. I genuinely do. I think he'd be a fantastic assistant manager, or even if he wants to go back to sort of develop the youth, he's very good at that. And the reason I actually say that maybe we should move on from Murty is, I think now we have a squad capable, like from the 11 to challenge for the league. I genuinely believe that. There's just some decisions in the games where I thought we've lost it for ourselves, waiting too long to make substitutions. The Old Firm game, that was there for the taking. I don't care what anyone says. 11 versus 10 at home, 2-2, 58 minute. You've got to fucking win that. But we waited, we sat on our arses, we ended up getting beat. The Kilmarnock game, it wasn't working. He waited too long, he only made the changes when we were getting beat again. These types of games, if we just started picking up points, I know it's all ifs and maybes, but the games were there for us to win. Just look at all the games we've lost this season under Murty. There has been times where we needed to make a change and he didn't do it. And I know that comment sort of opens up the argument for the inexperienced manager. This is his first year as being a permanent coach. I completely understand that, but what I would counteract that, and what I'd like to say about that is, you can make mistakes, right? He's a new manager, he can make mistakes. But continually making the same mistake, what's it, 7 losses now? It just continues to go, and he goes, and he goes, he makes the same mistakes, he's not learning. And to me personally, that is what counteracts the whole inexperienced manager. You can be inexperienced, but you're not learning from the mistakes. So, yeah. And I didn't want it to seem like I'm sort of dissing Murty at all, or saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. He's definitely helped us transition from the Pedro period. There's a hashtag for you. From the Pedro period over to where we are now. And I think if he hands the reins over to maybe a Steve Clark, Gio, De Boer, all these people that's getting mentioned who you guys want, I think that could lead us on to a very good season next year. So that is my thoughts. Let's jump over to the Twitter poll. But before we do that, it's time for the sponsor break. I know I've kind of went behind everyone's backs, but I'm back at the Iron Brew. I'm sorry, but it tastes the same. 3 to 1, sponsor break! It really does taste the same. Fucking CJ Novo selling out for the money. What a wanker. I fucking hate that CJ Nova guy. Right, so the Twitter poll is really blew up, like I did mention. 694 votes already, so that's absolutely tremendous. Can we get by that in the likes? Make sure we get getting involved. Let's see. So I says, right, it's been a few days to calm down. It has been. Are we all calm? Probably not. So for today's video, do you want Murty to be the manager next season? Again, 694 votes as it stands. I went yes, no, and depends on the cup result. Because I feel like if I just put yes and no, people would say it would depend on the cup. So that's why I threw it in there. So let's read out. Yes came in last with 13% of the votes. Dependent on the cup, which was quite surprising, only got 22% of the votes. But 65% of the vote voted no. Now again, we don't speak for all the Rangers fans, we are just the Novo Nation here. We're just giving our thoughts and opinions as I almost dropped my phone. Reflexes. Now let's actually get to the tweets and see what the people are thinking. Blue Army Faction at Blue Army Faction. And he chips in with, it really depends what the alternative options are for me, rather than cup results. So he also goes on to say, yes, after the fiasco with McInnes, I would rather keep Murty unless we had the chance to employ a top-notch manager, which I have no doubts about. Scott Young says, I want to see what he's like when everyone's fit. Our midfield core, McCrory, Jack and Dorrance, all have been injured. And also, if we win the cup, it'd be unfair to not give the guy it permanently. Peter Ramsey says, I really want to give him the job. It all depends on now for the rest of the season. But it should be the Rangers board that should be getting a hard time, as they've made a complete fuck up of getting a manager in. DJ at Delboy1872 says, defo not. We can't afford to take any more gambles. Say what we say. kind of same next season. That would give them 8 in a row. So it's no for me. We can't waste another season. Next year we must hit the ground running. Ross Cameron chips in with saying, very good at developing players. They have all become better under him. Tactically, maybe a bit too inexperienced. However, there's no one available just now that would be better. So I'd be happy if he stayed as manager. Just think Steve Clarke-esque would be better. Sam Scobie says, not for the most popular opinion, but yes. It's someone who put everything into the job. He's a young manager, and if we can keep him on a long-term contract, he can develop his ideas and potentially become a great manager. Ryan Whitlock says, quite possibly a suitable assistant manager, but nothing more. He's tactically naive, and we need a proper manager who knows how to impact games and use his subs properly. Yeah, it just doesn't get any easier when you think about all the games it's just slipped away for us. Jay Fletcher chips in with, absolutely not. He's proved himself tactically inept over the last 2 games, one of which was our biggest game of the season. The board must now look elsewhere at Stevie Clarke, Van Bronckhorst, etc. If not, they must go as well. Again, this isn't a witch hunt. We aren't one of these people that goes, man, and starts battling each other. Do you think the board shares the responsibility as well as the manager under Murty? Let me know what you're thinking about that. It's quite an interesting question for Jay Fletch. Robbie Henderson says, I want Clarke next season. Ian McDougall says, I personally think we need a stronger manager. Murty should be around the first team, but as a part of the management team. Obviously, Steve Clarke is the #1 target just now. But for just now, Gio or Frank de Boer are available and able. That's what I would look into. Jake Andrew Watt says, if we can get the cup, then we should be given a whole season. But after that season, if he hasn't done well, then I'm sorry, I love the guy, but it's time to go. As someone mentioned earlier, if we gamble on Murty and it doesn't work out next season, that's them at 8. So I'm saying. And then another manager could come in and he might want, you know what I mean? That's like wasting another whole year. So it's an interesting one. Willie Ewing. I feel like I've messed that up there, Willie. I apologise. Love the man, but he's not ready for the job yet. Reminds me of the Mark Warburton era. Same thing over and over again, even when it isn't working. Don't know who could do the job for us, though. Next season is huge, and the board can't afford another mistake. Penna Cartel just sends in a gif. So shout out to him. James Robertson said, he's a great coach. Totally mixed feelings. Just not sure he's good enough for experience for one of the biggest jobs in football. Derek Neal, or Deaky Neal, sorry, it says, think he's a stand-up guy, but don't think he's ready to take the full range yet, full time. Bit tactically naive and gets caught out, fought by more clinical coaches. I think he's meaning he gets caught out by more clinical coaches. Litz92 says, only voted yes because I'm fed up of bringing these experimental managers in. If it's not Murty next season, it needs to be an established manager, in my opinion. Now, the way this is looking from the polls and the comments and everything like that, don't be ashamed if you want to fire in saying Murty in the comments below. If you want Murty to be here, again, this isn't one of these communities where it's going to attack people's opinions. So feel free to tell me why and have a wee reasons like that, and we'll have a wee back and forth, and I will sure to reply. I'm actually going to end it there. I know there's so many more tweets, but that is what the comments section is for. Fire your opinions. This is a safe place where you can express your opinion. You're not going to get judged. You're not going to get, you care nothing about football. There's none of that piss here. We're a community. Give your thoughts and we will give our thoughts back. I've been CJ Novo92. That has been Andy. Thanks for watching and bye-bye.